Hi, first grade. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend, and I'm glad everyone is back here again today for us to spend some time together. So what we're going to learn about today is we are going to use the tiny seed to solve math equations. I know that seems like a little silly. What does a flower have to do with math equations? We'll get back to that at the end. First, let's review what we learned last week about flowers when we read the book Watch It Grow. We learned how to observe to get information. We said observing is to watch and listen. Once you've watched and listened, you take the information that you observed and you write it down into fact. So if I looked at this plant and I decided to write, the flower has green leaves. I've observed that. I've seen it with my eyes. I didn't touch or play or mess with it. I just sat back and watched it. Let's also review the 4 things plants need to grow. We're going to sing our Each of Us is a Flower song, focusing on the 4 things that plants need to grow. So remember, it goes like this. Each of us is a flower growing in life's garden. Each of us is a flower. We need the sun and the rain. Each of us is a flower growing in life's garden. Each of us is a flower. We need soil and space. Cha-cha-cha. So now that we've done a little review about our flowers, as always, I'm going to read the book, and you guys are going to stick around to the end, and we'll go over the activity for you guys to do at home. Hang tight, coming right back. Today's story is The Tiny Seed. It is autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of these seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up, up it goes. It flies too high, and the sun's rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. Another seed lands on a tall, icy mountain. The ice never melts, and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls in the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. One seed drifts down into the desert. It is hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. Finally, the wind stops, and the seeds fall gently down to the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small the bird cannot see it. Now it is winter. After their long trip, the seeds settle down. They look just as if they're going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. And the hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch. But the tiny seed lies very still, and the mouse does not see it. Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring. Birds fly by, the sun shines, rain falls. The seeds grow so round and full, they start to burst open a little. Now they are not seeds anymore. They are plants. First they send roots down into the earth, and then the little stems and leaves begin to grow up toward the sun and air. There is another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It's a big fat weed. And it takes all the sunlight and the rain away from one of the small new plants, and that little plant dies. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It will be too late. Hurry! But finally, it too starts to grow a little plant. The warm weather also brings children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun in the springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs around, and, oh no, he breaks one. Now it cannot grow. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but its neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 7. And look, a bud, and now even a flower. But what is happening? First there are footsteps, then a shadow looms over them. Then a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. A boy picked the flower and gave it to a friend. Now it's summer, and the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It grows on and on. It doesn't stop. The sun shines on, and the rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It's taller than the people, and it's taller than the trees. It's taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they have ever seen. It is a giant flower. All summer long, the birds and the bees and the butterflies come visiting. They've never seen such a big they've never seen such a big and beautiful flower. Now it is autumn again. The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind carries the yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower, and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. The wind blows harder, and the flower has lost most of its petals. It sways and bends away from the tree, but the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. Once more, the wind shakes the flower, and this time the flower's seed pod opens. Out come many tiny seeds, that quickly sail away for the wind. The end. So let's take what we've learned and we're going to apply it to a math strategy. So hang on, we'll be right back. Alrighty, I hope y'all enjoyed that story. Now we're going to talk about how we're going to use the tiny seed in the flower to apply it to some math work. Notice we have subtraction signs today. I know before we left to go on our distance learning, we had just started to do subtraction with 2-digit numbers. So we're going to do a little review of single-digit subtraction, and then we're going to take it down to 2-digit. So let's get started. What I want you guys to do is take a marker board and a marker, or a pencil and paper, or a crayon and paper, whatever you'd prefer, and you're going to draw a flower. Any flower with any kind of petals, any color that you can think of. So I drew this simple flower with 5 little petals and a center. What's the center called? I'm not going to tell you. That's going to be the bonus question. I'm going to have you guys write in and tell me what the center of the flower is called. Alrighty, so we are starting with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 petals on our flower. Now remember, if you're subtracting, you're taking away. Addition brings together, subtraction takes away. So what I'm going to have you do next is just cross out a few of the petals, however many you want. You're making your own math equation. So I'm going to say, I'm going to take out 2. So if we started with 5 and we took away 2, our math equation should say 5 minus 2 equals what? How do I know what 5 minus 2 equals? Well, if I have 5 petals and I take away 2, what's left is the answer to our equation. So if I had 5 and I took away 2, I have 1, 2, 3 left. So my math equation is 5 minus 2 equals 3. Now let's see, this flower is a little wacky looking, but that's okay. Let me count out how many petals we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Here we go, 2-digit subtraction. We have 14 petals. I'm going to take away 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Now let's count to see what's left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I took away 7, counted what was left, and now I have 7. So my math equation was 14 minus 7 equals 7. Do one more down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And let's take away 7. Took away 7. And now I have 1, 2 left. So our math equation is that 9 minus 7 is 2. And that's going to be it for today, boys and girls. I want you guys to use your paper or your marker board to do 5 subtraction problems using flowers, like from the tiny seed. Now, if you choose not to use flowers and you have a preferred math strategy you'd like to use, that's okay. If you want to use mental math, or if you have counters at home that you'd like to do, or if you'd just rather draw circles instead of petals, that's okay too. Whatever strategy works best for you is what I want you to use. But if you'd like to have a little fun and do some flowers just like the tiny seed, I think this sounds like a great way to do it too. So that's all for today, guys. I will see you tomorrow. I hope you have a marvelous Monday, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye.